All right, let's cut right to it. Forget all the get-rich-quick nonsense you see online. What we're doing here is boiling down 26 years of real, in-the-trenches trading experience into a simple, actionable roadmap. This isn't theory from a book. These are the hard lessons learned when your own money is on the line. So whether you're just starting out or you're stuck spinning your wheels, this is for you. Let's dive in.
But before we even talk about strategy, we have to get the mindset right. Here's the most important thing to understand. It doesn't matter if you've blown up an account. It doesn't matter if you're starting with almost nothing. The market is a pure meritocracy. It has absolutely no memory of your past failures. Your entire future as a trader comes down to one single thing, the very next decision you make.
So, here's our game plan. It's a 4-stage roadmap. We'll start with the foundation, keeping it simple. Then, we'll hit the training ground to build professional habits. After that, we step onto the battlefield to master risk. And finally, we'll open up the playbook and learn to trade like a pro. Okay, Section 1, the foundation. You want to know the first rule of having a long, successful trading career? It's simple. You have to keep it simple. Real success is built on clarity, not on complexity.
You know, you really only have two paths you can go down. The amateur, they clutter up their charts with dozens of indicators, always chasing the next shiny object, the next holy grail strategy. But the professional, they know a secret. You only need one simple, repeatable edge. That's it. Master that one thing, become an absolute expert in your little corner of the market, and learn to treat everything else as just noise.
And a huge part of that is mastering just one asset. Why? Because you have to remember, markets are just made of people. And people, well, people have habits. When you focus on just one thing, you're not just learning to read a chart, you're learning the behavior of the group of traders who move that asset. It's like becoming an expert on a single opponent instead of trying to fight an entire army all at once.
All right, Section 2, the training ground. So, you've got your simple foundation. Now it's time to build the habits that separate the pros from the hobbyists. These are the systems that are going to carry you through your entire career.
And this feedback loop, right here, this is your engine for improvement. It all starts with just observing, getting as much screen time as you possibly can. Seriously, it's like watching the same movie 2,000 times. Eventually, you know every line by heart. Then you have to document every single trade in a journal so you can analyze it. This creates a cycle where you're always, constantly improving.
Now this is a complete game changer. There was this veteran trader who for years thought he was just a terrible stock picker. But after he started journaling every trade, he found something that absolutely shocked him. His strategy, it wasn't the problem at all. 60% of his losses, look at that, 60%, were totally unnecessary. They were caused by emotional mistakes, like panicking out of a good trade too early. The journal showed him that the real enemy wasn't the market, it was him.
Which brings us to Section 3, the battlefield. This is without a doubt the most critical part of your survival as a trader. Mastering risk and emotion isn't just a good idea. It's the only way you're going to stay in the game long enough to actually win.
So let me ask you a question. Just think about it for a second. We hear about traders blowing up their accounts all the time. But what is the real reason it happens over and over and over again?
Here they are. These are the account killers. And listen, it is never just one bad trade. That's a myth. A trader blows up because they put way too much money on a bad position, then they refuse to take the loss, and then they make a whole series of emotional, revenge-driven decisions trying to get it back. The first loss is just the spark. The fire that burns down the whole account is entirely self-inflicted.
So what's the fix? Well, here is the golden rule for position sizing, and it's surprisingly simple. If you feel even a little bit of anxiety, if you're watching the trade tick by tick, your position is too big, period. You have to size down until the trade feels almost boring. That's how you take the focus off the money and put it on making a good trade.
Okay, now this might be the single hardest rule to follow, but I promise you it's one of the most powerful. Your job as a trader is to execute your plan perfectly. Your job is not to watch your profit and loss go up and down all day. That number is like a siren song, and it will lure you into making terrible emotional decisions. Turn it off. Focus on your execution, and the profits will take care of themselves. To really master risk, you have to completely change how you think about losing. See, there are two types of losses. An acceptable loss, that's just the cost of doing business. It's like the gas you put in your car to get to work. You followed your plan, the market just did something weird. It happens. But an unacceptable loss, that's a self-inflicted wound. It's a mistake, a lapse in judgment. Your job isn't to stop losing, it's to stop making those unforced errors.
All right, on to our final section, the playbook. You've built the foundation. You've learned to manage your emotions. Now, it's time to execute like a professional, using the systems that keep you disciplined day in and day out.
Professionals know that not all trade setups are created equal. This rank and bank system is how you manage your money like a pro. A Tier 1 setup, that's your A+ slam dunk trade. You get aggressive on that. Tier 2 is a good, solid setup, so you use your standard position size. But at Tier 3, that's basically a coin flip. You either stay away completely or you use a tiny size. This forces you to bet big only when you have a massive advantage.
Now listen up, because this is mission critical. Your single greatest enemy in trading is staring back at you in the mirror every morning. You need hard, non-negotiable rules to protect you from you. For example, 3 straight losses, you walk away. No questions asked. And even more important, you must have a max daily loss, your get the F out number. Once you hit that number, you are done for the day. No exceptions, no one more trade. These rules are your shield.
You know, a lot of people think a mentor is just someone who gives you hot stock tips. That's not it at all. The real value, the true value of a mentor, is having someone in your corner who just gets it. Only another trader can truly understand what it feels like to do everything right and still lose money. A mentor is there to hold you together when things get tough and to keep you from blowing yourself up.
So eventually, you get to a point where you have all the knowledge. You have the systems in place, you have the support you need, and you'll find yourself standing at a fork in the road. One path leads back to your old habits. The other, well, the other path requires the hardest step of all.
Because here's the ultimate truth. No one can take that last step for you. The journey from being an average trader to an elite one, that's a walk you have to take alone. It's that moment of total ownership, when you finally find the strength inside yourself to cross that threshold. That final step, it's